everybody, welcome back to Reachin Reverie. Thank you for choosing this video to watch today. If you're new here, my name is Alex and we live here in far western Texas in the Chihuahuan Desert. We recently bought 5 acres of land 1 month ago, and today is the day we are planning to move our RV onto the property. It is going to live here in this RV port that we just built. Right now we're gonna get it cleared out, do some leveling, and then hopefully before the end of the weekend, we will have the RV on the property. Yesterday we did get the electric installed and we tested it out. We plugged in some equipment and turned it on using the electric. We also used a voltmeter to test the amount of power in each plug and tested out all of our meters. So with electric ready to go, we have the trench filled in. We are going to bring the RV onto the property this weekend. The next thing is, yes, we have septic installed, but we are still waiting to get septic to the RV. So once we have it here with electricity, that's going to be the next step. So our original plan was to back the RV into the carport right here. We are gonna have the gooseneck part over on this end with the door facing that way. The plan was to back the RV in this way. After looking at that situation the day of, we are kind of second guessing if we're gonna be cutting it a little close with the angles on this turn. Josh is an expert level driver. He is a professional driver. That's what he does for a living. And he is confident that he could back it in this way, but I think we're gonna make life easier. And what we decided to do is we are actually gonna go ahead and take off this cable bracing right here by loosening up the turnbuckle and loosening up these bolts. And we're gonna take off this bracing and we're gonna actually just come straight in with the RV, come around the power pole and pull it straight in, and then unhook when he gets all the way through, and it'll be in its spot. And we do think that that will probably be the most conservative, safest way to get the RV in. Josh was thinking that in order to cut that corner, we would have to clear out more of the desert in this section. And we want to try to leave as much native wildlife as we can, native plant life, flora and fauna. We really want to steward this land well. We do know that this section is all eventually coming out anyway, because this is where the shop and his slab for the shop is going to go. So we thought, why not take out what's already coming out and pull through, rather than having to take out stuff that we hadn't planned on taking out. So it's kind of sad to have to pull out more of these plants, but this is going to be the best option. So Josh is in the tractor pulling out the big stuff like those mesquites. I'm going to come over here and try to save a couple of these little guys and replant them. This is a baby cholla right here, and then we have another couple of small chollas that I think that we could go ahead and repot and save them, and they can do good elsewhere on the property. Unfortunately, these bigger ones, I'm not gonna replant. We're gonna have to tear that one out, and all of these prickly pears over here. All right, little guy, hang in there. We're gonna get you to a safe place, a new home. we got him in. I tried to keep as much of his root intact. I know with cactuses, there's not a whole lot of root to begin with, so any real removal can be detrimental to them. I did put him into a spot. I didn't add any like soil or anything because, you know, he is a native plant and this is the type of soil that he does well with. I did put him in an area next to a tree we're not going to remove, next to our leach field. So hopefully he will have enough water to survive, and it's going to be kind of a survival of the fittest situation, but I tried to put him in a location that he will be less likely to need to be removed in the future. I will be having traffic in this area where I can be taking a look at him and making sure that he is doing good, and if he needs water we can give him some, but we are in monsoon season, so I'm not even going to water him in. The soil right here, you could see how it's darker colored. It is kind of moist. And so, you know, he is a cactus. We're just gonna let him do his thing and we'll cross our fingers and say, good luck, little guy. And that is the way, because, I mean, I wasn't gonna spend all day planting cactuses today, but I didn't want to unnecessarily kill some that I think are, you know, still in their prime and have a lot of life ahead of them. I've had my eye on that little cactus for a long time, kind of knowing when it came time I'd try to repot him. Today was that day. Man, this dirt looks so good.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to put some bird of paradise around somewhere.
Yeah.
After we pull through, but at the same time, it's like, how far out is the...
That's what I was hoping. Is I think it'd be nice to have some bird of paradise between the RV and the house, but we just need to really stake off where the structures are going to go first.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. Like, it's like prickly pears are one thing, but every time we kill a cholla, it just like hurts my soul. This is another one we saved. I put him in direct flow where you can see water runs through the property right here to give him our best chance. Josh gave me a itty bitty baby cholla to plant, and so I took some dirt from under a mesquite, which is really, really good soil. Look at the difference in color. And we'll try to get him started, and if he wants to live, he will. Because the desert out here is a very harsh environment, but chollas are very suited to it. And so may the odds be in your favor, little dude. See, he's so little, he doesn't even have really sharp thorns yet. Plants want to grow, and he might not make it, and maybe he will. But he has a better chance over here than he does underneath the shop. Coming! I gotta go finish helping him pluck cactus. It looks so bare now. I said it looks so bare now. Yeah, this is where the shop and the pad's gonna go. I still like this soil right here. Look at this soil. Under mesquite. Alrighty, let's get back to work. So he's got a pile in his tractor. We've got another pile over there. We threw the mesquite in a pile over there for chipping. Pile of cactus right here. We're gonna try to save this cholla. We'll see the edge of, we're gonna have a carport off the RV port, which will essentially end Mas o Menos right there at the edge of it. So for now, that one gets to live on. We're hoping he can stay. And then the shop is gonna go in here. We're gonna have a concrete slab right there, which is gonna be a 20 by 24, which leads right up to the circle drive. So hopefully in the future, once we're planning on staking out this weekend again where the shop is going to be, get it in stone so that we could start planning. We have about 15 bird of paradise starts, little shrubs that we started that we're going to try to maybe sprinkle in here and throughout the property. So now I'm going to go get some water and stand in the shade for a minute Josh is gonna back drag with his tractor this area to get out all of the grass and level out the holes from where he dug out the mesquite and get it level so that we can pull the RV in through this way. With the RV having AC with the electric, we may start staying here overnight, a couple nights a week, as we continue to build our little homestead. I still have a rental duplex in town that we will keep until the shop is built, because the RV is going to be a little bit too tight for all of our stuff, plus Miss Evie and our cat Russell, and the property is not yet safe for the chickens that we have. We do still have that rental property. Once the shop is completed, that will be essentially our temporary living room until the house is built. So we still have a lot of work to do, but baby steps, do the next best thing, one step at a time, and we're getting there. You're being so good. And we did go for a walk this morning, but whenever we're working, we do have her in a spot where she can sit and relax, because we don't want her running around the property and re-injuring that leg that she broke. And it just got healed enough for you to be able to walk around with us, huh? Yeah, it's been a long process. Oh, there's a dragonfly. I don't know if y'all could see it on the camera. We have a lot of dragonflies, and I love them because they eat mosquitoes. You ready? All right, everybody. So I just dropped Josh back off at the RV. And this is not the way that we wanted this video to end today. We were planning on, and I'm driving right now because I have to meet my landlord at my house for an emergency that just happened. Well, we were trying to pick up Josh's RV so that we could take it to the property. I want to say it has 4 different slide outs. And today, when we were getting ready to load up the RV, we were literally getting ready to hitch it up to the truck and take off with it. I pushed the button to retract the slide outs and to bring them in so that we could make the RV mobile. And 3 out of the 4 slide outs worked flawlessly. That 4th slide out though, the motor is not working. So Josh spent a couple of hours today under his RV trying to figure out how to manually get that slide out back in without the motor. You know, we did some troubleshooting. You can check for, is there power to the motor? Is there a busted fuse? Other troubleshooting hacks, manually releasing the brake and being able to turn that bar to pull the slide out in on the RV. Well, his motor's actually inaccessible right now because he has a belly pan to protect the undercarriage of his RV, and that belly pan is covering up all of that part of it, so he can't even access the motor or the brakes or anything like that. So I just drove Josh out to the property. We picked up a piece of plywood, drove back out to the house, kind of touched base with what's going on at my house that I'm renting with my landlord. I drove Josh back out to where he has his RV right now at his RV park so that he could slide that plywood underneath the RV, and from there he can undo his belly pan on his RV so that he can try to figure out how to get the slide out to compress. We needed that plywood because right now underneath his RV is just a bunch of rock, which is not comfortable to sit on. But we also have a big goat head patch right where he needs to be. And if you're not from the Southwest and have never heard of goat head, you should Google it. Goat head plant. I know it goes by another name, but that is what we call it here in Western Texas. Goat head is essentially a type of seed that when the plant puts its seed out, It's a very pointy, like a sticker that you step on, and the shape of the seed resembles a goat head. Like, it looks like a little goat's head with horns, and those horns can have, you know, 1/8 of an inch, sometimes more, roughly I would say 1/8 of an inch thorn on them. So when you step on them, when you lay on them to get under an RV, it will draw blood. It's extremely painful. So we got some plywood for him to be able to slide up under his RV to work on that this afternoon. So that has delayed us moving the RV onto the property. We are on the 27th of July right now, and he has to be out of his RV space by August 1st. So we're really trying to get this worked out before the end of the week. It is Sunday, so we have until Wednesday really to get off of that property. Oh wow, I'm driving and there's this hawk circling above and this little bird mobbing him. That's kind of cool. Wow, that's cool. So we have just a couple of days. It's kind of crunch time. We kind of pushed off to the last minute. We thought it'd be easy, pop the slide outs in, air up the tires, we'd be good to go. And that was not the case. Our plan, of course, is to get the RV to the property, and then I still have the house that I'm renting, and we were planning on continuing to rent out my house until railroad tracks. We were planning on renting out my house until next spring. That way we could have a place where we could comfortably live with all of our stuff, and have a place that was safe for our animals as well, because we have an indoor dog and cat, and the RV would have been too small of a space to try to cram everything into without having to get like a storage unit or something like that. So the issue now that we're running into is a couple of things. We wanted to stay in my rental until next spring, which is still, you know, 6 months away at least. That was going to give us time to build the shop on the property. And once the shop was built, we were going to go ahead and move all of my stuff out of my rental. And we were also, oh, there's a little dog. Run home. Go home. She's cute. Little Chihuahua. The little pink collar. Go home. So our plan here was that once, you know, within the next 6 months, we would get the shop built. And once the shop is built, we were going to, you know, move out all of my things, move over the animals, and then essentially live out of the RV and shop while we build our home. We're concerned because over the past couple weeks, let me see, I think I'm gonna let this car pass. Yeah. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been hearing a sound, like a whooshing sound. Oh yeah, you have it. Go ahead. He was gonna let me go, but I have the stop sign. That was a sweet couple. Oh, he's parking. Okay, I'm gonna go now. So over the past couple weeks, I have heard a whooshing sound, like, and there's a couple of bucks just laying in someone's carport. It's a hard town to drive through. There's so many things that are just so stimulating. Seeing hawks, seeing a dog run across the road, seeing deer sitting in someone's driveway. Wow, there's 3 big bucks. Their antlers are huge already. Anyway, so I'm driving home. So over the past couple of weeks, I have been hearing this like sound coming from my water heater closet in my bedroom. And I was telling Josh about it because I'm really not like tech savvy. Like, when I say we're building this property and building our house, I mean that like Josh is building our house and I'm helping him as needed, and I'm of course learning a lot, but like he is the engineer here and I am the help. So I was telling Josh, hey Josh, I'm hearing this sound coming out of my water heater closet. And he's like, yeah, that happened with my mom's. Likelihood is there's sediment in the water heater and you need to flush it out. Then last night, I noticed when I was gonna take a shower that my water pressure had tanked. I went to turn on the shower and it was not enough water to actually take a shower last night. So then when we hit that snag today with Josh and his RV slide out, he said, well, in the heat of the day, why don't we go run over to your place? We'll go take care of your hot water heater. We'll go ahead and flush out the system. And then we'll head back over to my place. So I open up my water heater closet and Josh goes to turn off the water, intaking into the hot water heater so we could work on it. And then he turned off the breaker to turn off the hot water heater. And then we were running out the hot water in the sinks. And we noticed that we were continuing to hear this whooshing sound. So typically, if you turn off your hot water heater and you turn off the water, you should not continue to hear the crackling sound of sediment in the bottom of your hot water heater. There should be no sound, right? But the whooshing sound continued, and it's just like, and so Josh went out to the meter at the street of my rental property and saw that the little dial on the meter was just going around and around and around, which indicates that we have a pretty massive water leak going on underneath of my house that I'm renting. And just a couple weeks ago, I had a toilet leak in this house. This house is old. It is not very structurally sound. It is not a very good rental, you know, to live in, but it is in my budget. It allows my chickens. It allows me to garden. You know, I moved into that house in a really financially struggling place, and so that's where I moved into. The town that we live in, the price of living is extremely high, and so that was what I could afford. Now, my landlord has been really great about fixing things basically as soon as she has been seeing that there's a problem, but we've had a lot of problems lately. So with my toilet going out a couple weeks ago, I had a lot of water in the bathroom, and we noticed that on the other side of the bathroom at my front door, the flooring was actually warping and coming up a little bit. So we were thinking it was from the water leak. Well, we've been smelling this mildew smell. It's really moist in the house. The toilet was resolved and we're still smelling that. And Josh brought up a great point. What if this leak that's going on underneath of our water heater is causing there to be mold in the house? So now we're thinking, okay, we don't have a shower at my place right now, and if we move the RV, we have 300 gallons of water in our catchment tank that we just moved in, so we'll be hauling water there, but we can't even move the RV onto the property until we can get the slide out situation fixed. So we're kind of in like this crunch time right now where there's a lot of moving parts that have to happen really quickly, and at this point we don't really feel safe staying in my rental because of what if there's mold? Like, that's not safe. And then I'm thinking like, well, I've got my cat and my dog there. We don't have enough room to move everybody into the RV. So we're trying to get all of these things fixed and try to figure out what's going to happen. We're really going to try to expedite the shop so that we don't have to stay in this rental until the spring like we thought we would, because it's really, really scary thinking that what if there's mold in the house? Is that a safe environment for us to be living in, you know? So I'm pulling into the house. I'm gonna go meet my landlord and see if I can lend a hand. And at this point, it doesn't look like the RV is gonna move on to the property today. I'm looking through the trees. It's really dark. It's lightning and thundering. So when it rains, it pours. This is not the best time for this to happen because Josh is gonna be under the RV right now. We do need water in our catchment tank though, so hopefully he doesn't get too wet. Maybe he'll be protected underneath his RV. And maybe this isn't the day to get that belly pan off, so I'll have to stay tuned with his update. So this is in my rental house. This is my hot water heater closet, and I don't know if y'all can hear that whooshing sound, but the water is off and the hot water heater's off, so this is not a good sign. I just talked to my landlord and she's left a bunch of voicemails to our plumber, but it is a Sunday afternoon, and so at this point we're not really sure what to do about this. Not good. Not good at all. So with the moisture issue and it kind of being a little bit mildewy and potentially moldy, we're probably gonna stay at the RV tonight until we can get an update from a plumber. So we've got to get the RV fixed so we can move it. We've got to get the house fixed so that it can be livable. And for now, we just kind of need to see where Josh can get today on that belly pan with the state of the weather. And it doesn't look like anything's gonna happen with the house today, so. As far as the garden goes, it's doing pretty good. My peppers are kind of angry. They need water. So as much as we don't want it to rain on Josh right now, we do need some water for our peppers. My pressure's really low with that water leak, so I'm probably not going to use my garden hose to water today. We'll just hope that the rain comes over this property. I'm just in love with my zinnias. They're doing really, really good. Got chamomile in this bed that I've been plucking and putting in tea. I probably need to go make a chamomile tea right now so I can calm down. Got my nasturtiums. These are the biggest nasturtiums I think I've ever grown, and they're gonna have some really pretty orange flowers blooming here soon. My Greg's Mist flower, which is a Texas native, is blooming. This is its second year here. It's a beautiful perennial. I'm gonna try to save seeds and grow some on the property. This tomato bed is not doing good. I think the soil is just not amended right. I think it needs some work on this soil. I am still getting Queen of the Night tomatoes, which are really, really good tomatoes. But the tomato plants themselves are doing really poorly. Not to say that all my tomatoes are doing bad. These are my tomatoes up against the house, which perhaps they're doing so good because there's a water leak under the house. I don't know. I thought it was because they were getting afternoon shade, but now I'm starting to wonder if it's because of that water leak. But I've got like oodles and oodles of tomatoes. Look at this. Like bunches of tomatoes, and I've picked a lot of tomatoes off of here already, and every time I come back and look, I'm just finding more and more tomatoes. So this is kind of where I'm getting all my tomatoes this year. That bed is not doing very good. I do have my pea plant is for whatever reason not doing very good. I was just going to compliment my blue butterfly pea, but I don't know what happened. Within the last day or so, it's dried up. My blue butterfly pea, I do need to harvest a seed pod, which is up there. I was going to let it ripen first, so we'll see if it lives. It looks like something maybe broke the stem. Typically, that's what happens when the whole plant dies overnight, is the stem gets broken farther down at the bottom of the plant. So maybe a roly-poly ate around that stem, but if it is the worst case scenario, I'll just buy more blue butterfly peas online. But I did run out of seeds this year, and I have this one little seed pod that I want to try to plant more on. So we have been pretty much focusing on the property lately, and my garden. I do think that I've been putting some time into my garden, but it's not thriving like it usually does. I've been doing a lot of garden planning. I feel like my head's not in this property anymore. I'm kind of already thinking ahead towards the future property. I already have my garden plan out. We have the fencing. I already know kind of what I'm gonna plant where next year. And so I'm trying to wrap my head around like materials that we're gonna need and things like that. Even just right here, we have bird of paradise. Are all of these plants. I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 12 shrubs just in these pots. And this is a Texas native that we're gonna plant around the property, which is a really great pollinator. So we do plan on putting our bird of paradise to the property, you know, as soon as we can have a way to regularly water them and protect them from the deer. I'm gonna head back into the house with that thunder getting closer. Maybe I will give Josh a call and see if he needs help out at the property. It's absolutely pouring. I stopped recording like 5 minutes ago. So I called Josh and I called my landlord. I think we're just gonna turn off the water here at this property until we can get the plumber to come out, which kind of sucks. This is a duplex and our water's connected, so it's gonna affect our next door neighbors as well. But I think that would prevent further damage if we turn it off until we can get it fixed. I was gonna go out and help Josh, but he talked to me a few minutes ago and he's not gonna work under the RV, understandably so, while it's lightning overhead. So the storm head is pretty much right over our property and his RV park right now. So it's not super safe to be working out there, besides it being a muddy mess as well. So I'm gonna run to the store and grab dinner, and then I'll probably head out to the RV and we will go from there. Josh thinks he said something about a hydraulic actuator. Figure out hopefully how to get that slide out to go in and out, but either way, I don't know if it's gonna happen today because we may need to replace a part. It is Sunday afternoon and our town pretty much shuts down on Sundays. So anyway, not the day that we were expecting, but if nothing else, we're getting water in our water tank. So we will have more water in our rainwater catchment system, and that is something positive that happened out of today. Evie, you can't go. It's too wet outside. Guard the house. Russell's in charge. I tell you what, it has been a heck of a day with highs and lows all around. That storm came in like a fury and hit really hard and really fast, and it was a downpour. But as fast as it came in, it's over there now. And we're looking at almost blue skies off in the distance. And Josh, he was able to get the belly pan off, and he was able to essentially, literally take a wrench and manually get this slide out to go back in. Look at that! It's this slide out right here, and it is all the way in. So we are ready for travel. The only thing holding us up is that water leak at the house. That should be getting fixed tomorrow. We do have a plumber coming out, so we will be staying here tonight. We do have this one pushed in, but all the other slide outs are moving in and out, so we were able to push the bedroom back out to have a bed to sleep on tonight that will be moisture free and away from any mold or mildew. So with that, we may be a day behind schedule, but we will be moving this out to the property tomorrow after we get off work. And that is really exciting to have this off of this area into our RV port that we worked so hard to get built up. And we are moving forward after all. This is a better ending than the other one that I recorded that y'all don't have to see, where we thought we didn't know what was gonna happen, honestly. So with that, thank you guys for hanging along to the end of this video. We thank you guys for hanging out with us today and every day that you do. Until next time, have a great one. And don't forget to wish us luck, because today, days like this, we really need it. All that water in the road is encouraging that there's some water in our tank. Josh had a good point that we cleared out all of the mesquite and those cactus this morning where the shop's gonna go, so we could pull our RV in, and this rain is gonna glue it all together and pack it down. There's one more. Yep, here he goes.